My girlfriend said, I met someone while traveling. We're in a situationship. And the moment those words slipped out of her mouth, soft, gentle, like she was telling me she tried a new latte flavor, I knew something inside me broke cleanly, almost peacefully. What I didn't know was that the next 6 minutes would burn our entire relationship to the ground. You don't get to fall for another guy while watching sunsets on the Pacific coast and still expect to come home to my apartment. I remember thinking as I stared at the video call on my phone. My name is Ethan, I'm 31, and the night my life tilted sideways. I was standing in my Seattle apartment cooking dinner. Garlic sizzling, pasta boiling, Spotify humming in the background. Everything was regular, comfortable, almost painfully ordinary. Then Lauren, my girlfriend of 3 years, who had been on a 6-week solo personal growth journey, called me with the kind of expression people have when they're about to confess to cheating but want credit for honesty. She was in Big Sur, I think maybe Santa Cruz, somewhere along the California coast. Her whole background looked like an Instagram reel, orange sunset behind her, waves crashing, wind in her hair. She looked like she belonged on a travel blog, not in a conversation about detonating a relationship. Hey babe, she said, but the tone was off. Too careful. Too diplomatic. Hey, I answered, wiping my hands on a towel. Everything okay? She exhaled, long, slow, and heavy. Ethan, I need to talk to you about something important. My stomach dropped instantly. You know that instinct. That cold sweat feeling. Yeah, that one. Okay, I said cautiously. What's going on? She looked down, then back up at the camera. I met someone here. Silence, thick, heavy. I swear, even the ocean behind her went quiet. We've been spending time together, she continued, like, a lot of time. And I think, she hesitated. I think we're in a situationship. I blinked. I didn't breathe. I didn't move. You're in a asterisk, what? Asterisk, a situationship, she repeated, as if that clarified anything. It's not really dating. It's more like a deep connection. Emotional, spiritual. But it's not physical, at least not in the way you think. Lauren, I cut in, you're telling me this while you're still in a relationship with me. Yes, but that's why I'm being honest now, she insisted. Because it's complicated. It's not complicated anymore, I said. We're done. Her mouth fell open like she hadn't expected consequences. Wait, Ethan, no. I wasn't breaking up with you. I was being vulnerable with you. You literally just told me you've started something with another guy. It's not a relationship, okay? There's a difference. Yeah, I said. A relationship is cheating. A situationship is cheating with branding. She looked hurt. You're not trying to understand me, and you're not trying to stay faithful. Ethan, please, no, I said. Enjoy your trip. And I hung up. Blocked her number before she could call back. The oddest thing is, I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't even feel that typical heartbreak punch. What I felt was clarity. Ice-cold clarity. The kind that settles in the moment you stop bargaining with reality. I looked around the apartment that was entirely mine. My name on the lease. My furniture. My mortgage payment. Lauren had moved in a year ago with her box of crystals, her yoga mat, and her minimalist aesthetic. Getting rid of her things would be easy. So I did. I packed her life into 4 medium boxes, clothes, toiletries, journals about emotional journeys, her 30+ crystals, each with some dramatic meaning attached. The meditation cushion she once claimed held her grief, books on astrology, self-love, trauma cycles, soul connection. I handled every item gently, not out of love, but out of resignation. When everything was stacked neatly by the door, I texted her from my work phone. Your things are packed. You'll need another place to stay when you're back. She responded instantly. Are you serious? You can't just kick me out. We broke up. You're not on the lease. You can't stay. Ethan, stop. We need to talk in person. There's nothing left to talk about. You're in a be in it somewhere else. I blocked the work, number 2. The next morning, her best friend Ciara called, already yelling before I even said hello. What the hell is wrong with you? I sipped my coffee calmly. Morning, Ciara. Don't try to be cute. Lauren is in shambles. She cried herself to sleep. She made one mistake. She started a relationship with another guy. It's not a relationship. God, Ethan, you're so traditional. It was a She was exploring her emotional capacity. She can explore it at a different address. She has no place to go. She has family, friends, hotels. Not my responsibility. You're heartless, she spit. She loved you. She loved me so much, she found emotional fulfillment with someone else. You're impossible. You never deserved her. She hung up. I shrugged and finished my coffee. That evening, her mom called. I don't know you well, she began icily, but I need to tell you something, okay? Lauren is devastated. She says you threw her out on the street. We broke up. She's not on my lease. She lived there for a year. She has rights. She was a guest. A long-term guest, but still no contract. You're a cruel man, her mother snapped. My daughter opened her heart to you, and also to another guy. She was honest, her mum said loudly, as if honesty cancels betrayal. Do you know how rare that is? She was honest after hiding it for weeks. You ruined her life. She seems to have another guy to help her rebuild. Her mother cursed me out and hung up. A week later, Lauren showed up with backup her brother, Tyler, and Ciara. I heard pounding on my door. When I opened it with the chain on, Ciara already had her phone recording. Lauren's eyes were puffy, red. You changed the locks. She screamed. My apartment, I said simply. Your stuff's in the hallway. Tyler stepped forward. Dude, seriously. Where is she supposed to go? Not my problem. Lauren burst into tears instantly, the dramatic kind, full-body sobs. Ethan, please. I made a mistake. I was confused. I want to come home. This isn't your home. Ciara shoved her camera toward my face. This is a legal eviction. I'm documenting this. Go ahead, I said. She's not on the lease. Tyler tried reasoning. Come on, man. Just let her stay for one night while she figures something out. No, we don't have room, Ciara snapped. Still not my problem, I repeated. Lauren's crying suddenly morphed into anger. I paid rent. I have tenant rights. You paid cash sometimes, I said. No receipts. No agreement. No tenancy. I'll sue you, she screamed. Do it. Ciara zoomed further in. You're a monster. Everyone's going to see this. Make sure you get my good side. I closed the door. That night, Ciara posted the video. Caption: This is what financial abuse looks like. Comments exploded. Some people attacked me. Some asked why Lauren was cheating if she was so abused. I remained silent. 2 weeks later, I got served legal papers, legal eviction, emotional distress, stolen property. She claimed I stole my own coffee maker, my own streaming accounts, and half the items in my apartment. My lawyer skimmed the file and said, she can't prove tenancy. This is going nowhere. And he was right. Her lawyer withdrew a week later. Couldn't afford to continue. Then Tyler called. You happy now? He snapped. She has nothing. Not even a lawyer. Mum paid for the first one. She has her situationship guy, I said. No, he sighed. They broke up. Why? Because she lied to him, too. Told him you two broke up months ago. When she came home sobbing about you kicking her out, he realized she'd been playing both sides. He dumped her. Sounds like consequences. You don't even care, do you? She cheated on me. Lied to him. Lied to everyone. What reaction do you want? That you'd help her, he insisted. She was family. She stopped being family when she chose someone else. Tyler went quiet. Man, you're cold. No, I said. I'm realistic. He hung up. And that is the moment I realized Lauren didn't lose everything because of me. She lost everything because she thought I would always be waiting with open arms while she tested her options. She thought wrong. After the confrontation, outside my apartment, Lauren, crying on the hallway floor, Ciara recording like a budget documentary filmmaker, and Tyler carrying boxes like a pallbearer for our dead relationship, expected a few days of silence. Instead, what I got was an uncanny stillness. The type of quiet that feels like the tension before a storm rather than calm after one. I went to work, came home, cooked, slept, and repeated. And every night, even when I wasn't looking at my phone, I could feel the next wave coming. I didn't have to wait long. 3 days after the hallway fiasco, I got an email from Lauren's mum, Pamela. The subject line alone made my eyebrow twitch. Costs incurred from your actions. I opened it expecting a rant. What I found was an itemized invoice like, I was a mechanic who damaged her car instead of a man who broke up with her unstable daughter. First month's rent for Lauren's new apartment. $1,400. Security deposit. $1,400. Replacement household items. $800. Therapy copays. $300. Moving costs. $200. Total due. $4,100. Please. Remit payment within 30 days. I didn't even respond. I forwarded it to my lawyer. He called back laughing so hard he had to pause and cough. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. You don't owe a cent. Ignore it. If she sends more, send them to me. And she did. More emails. More dramatics. More you destroyed my daughter, paragraphs filled with emotional adjectives but zero accountability. Then came the calls. Unknown numbers. Then private numbers. Then numbers from different states. The messages were all over the place. You're heartless. You owe me closure. You abandoned me. I hope you're happy ruining lives. You will regret this. I need you. Why won't you answer me? You did this to me. I blocked every number, one after another, until my block list looked like a database. Then Ciara, her best friend, decided she needed to be part of the narrative. She started what she called a survivor awareness thread on social media, describing me as a controlling partner who financially entrapped Lauren, made her dependent, then kicked her out the moment she tried to grow. Conveniently, she left out the part where Lauren was romantically and emotionally involved with another man and called it a conveniently left out the part where Lauren told me, from a beach, that it was complicated. Conveniently left out the part where she lied to the situationship guy as well. Thankfully, my best friend Kyle doesn't tolerate nonsense. Under Ciara's post, he commented, how was she financially trapped if she took international trips 3 times this year? The post got edited after that. Ciara added, abusive partners sometimes allow limited freedoms to maintain control subtly. I didn't respond. I just watched the internet dramatize a story they only knew one side of. But social media was the least of the chaos. Lauren herself started appearing. The first time was in the apartment lobby. I'd just come back from work, still in my button-down and tie, exhausted and wishing for a quiet evening. She stepped in front of me like a ghost, hair messy from the wind, wearing a sweatshirt I vaguely recognized from my closet. Ethan, she said softly, please, can we talk? No, just 5 minutes. No, I'm sorry, she whispered, tears filling her eyes. I made a mistake. Lauren, go home, I said. We're done. I walked past her to the elevator. She didn't follow. The second time was worse. She was sitting on the curb, outside the building, knees drawn up, suitcase beside her like a prop in a sad movie. Her eyes were red, hair unwashed, face puffy. Ethan, she croaked, standing and wiping her face. I'm not leaving until you talk to me. I walked right past her. The doorman later told me she sat outside for an hour before someone, maybe Tyler, picked her up. The third time made me call the building manager. She had somehow gotten into the building tailgating, or using a code she shouldn't have still had, and was sitting on the floor outside my actual apartment door. When I stepped off the elevator and saw her curled against my door like a lost animal, something inside me shut off completely. Lauren, I said flatly. She stood immediately, shook, brushed her hair back. Please, I have nowhere to go. Hotels exist, I said. I can't afford one, she whispered. Parents, I replied. They downsized. Your brother, I said. He has roommates. Ciara with... Not speaking, she admitted quietly. Still not my problem, I said. You don't care, she whispered, voice cracking. Not anymore. She stepped closer. Where is your compassion? I'm drowning. I'm lost. You're drowning in the consequences of your choices, I said. That's not on me. It was one mistake, she snapped. Confusion. I was confused. Cheating isn't confusion, I said. It's a choice. She covered her face and started crying harder. I loved you. You loved attention, I said calmly. Not me. I walked inside, closed the door, and immediately called the building manager. Lauren was officially banned from entering, but she didn't need to step inside the building to continue the harassment. The texts came from random numbers at all hours. Manipulation, guilt, rage, pleading, threats, each one blocked. Then, out of nowhere, I received a call from her phone. I ignored it, assuming it was another meltdown. But the voicemail wasn't hers. Hey man, a male voice said awkwardly. This is Daniel. I'm the guy she met traveling. That got my attention. I called back. He answered immediately. Look, he said. She left her phone at my place. I saw your number in her recent calls and thought, you guys broke up like months ago. We didn't, I said. Yeah, so I learned. He sighed deeply. Look, man, you need to see something. What? Her journal, he said. My stomach dropped. She left it here. I know I shouldn't have read it, but she's been harassing me too. And what I saw. You need to know. Email it, I said. When the files arrived, I opened them and felt every remaining ounce of sympathy evaporate. Page after page of handwritten entries, plans, strategies. She had mapped out her emotional exit from our relationship. If I feel disconnected from Ethan by week 4, I'll let myself explore with Daniel. I won't fully break up with Ethan until I know Daniel is stable. If Ethan reacts negatively, I'll say he is controlling. If he sets boundaries, I'll call it financial abuse. If things don't work with Daniel, Ethan will still take me back. It wasn't confusion. It was architecture. Daniel called again. You saw it. Yeah. I didn't know she was lying to both of us, he said. I'm sorry, man. I should have known. It's not on you, I said. She wanted a safety net. We were both options for her. Well, he said awkwardly, good luck. She's been blowing my phone up too. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. He read it all and said, if she ever tries another lawsuit or accusation, this destroys her credibility. Keep it, don't post it. Use it only to protect yourself. I agreed, and I kept it. Then, a few weeks later, another lawyer reached out, this time threatening to sue me for defamation. They claimed I was spreading lies. My lawyer wrote back, provide evidence. We never heard from them again. I thought the worst was over until Tyler called. This time, his voice wasn't angry. It was tired, worn down. Ethan, look, dude. I gotta tell you something. If it's another guilt trip, it's not, he said quickly. It's bad, okay? He sighed. She's telling people you abused her. My heart slammed in my chest. What? Not just financially, he added quietly. Physically, I froze. I never laid a hand on her. I know, he said immediately. I told her that's a serious accusation. She said emotional abuse counts. But then I overheard her telling someone that you hit her. And when I said that wasn't true, she got defensive and said trauma distorts memories. I sank onto my couch, suddenly exhausted. Why tell me? I asked. Because it's messed up, he said. She's spiraling, and I can't stand behind lies. Just be careful. I documented everything, stored screenshots, prepared statements with my lawyer. For a while, I lived with a tightness in my chest, waiting for my life to explode. But the accusation never spread far, mostly because the people she told didn't believe her. Her credibility was crumbling fast. Meanwhile, my apartment felt new again. I bought new furniture, repainted walls, rearranged everything. It felt like I was reclaiming my life inch by inch. Then I met Harper. We clicked in a slow, steady way. She knew the entire story, the situationship, the meltdown, the lawsuit, the harassment, the accusations. She listened without judgment. She called you from the trip. She asked once, yes, and expected you to accept it. Apparently, that's insane, she said. That's not how relationships work. Harper had this grounded presence that made me feel like the world wasn't on fire anymore. But the damage Lauren left didn't disappear. When Harper traveled for work, I got anxious. When she took too long to reply, I spiraled. When she said she was busy, I wondered if someone else was there. She noticed. And she was patient. One night she asked, "Do you regret how you handled it?" I thought for a minute. No, the relationship ended when she started something with another man. Everything after that was logistics. Harper nodded, understanding. And for the first time, I felt like I wasn't carrying the story alone. A month later, one final email came from Pamela. "You destroyed my daughter. She is on medication now. She has panic attacks. She trusts no one. You did this. I hope you can live with yourself." I didn't respond, because the truth is simple. I didn't destroy Lauren. She destroyed herself. I didn't cheat. I didn't lie. I didn't manipulate. I didn't create a backup relationship to ease my emotional transition. She lit the fire. I just walked away before it burned me. And in the end, we each live with the consequences of our choices. Hers, especially. The barrage of lawsuits, the tearful hallway scene, and the ridiculous accusations eventually faded. The final, desperate attempts to wound me ceased not because of a grand resolution, but because Lauren ran out of resources and credible allies. The truth that my relationship had been treated as a calculated safety net, an architecture of deceit rather than confusion, had stripped away every remaining vestige of sympathy. I no longer cared, not because I was heartless, but because she had chosen to forfeit my emotional investment. The subsequent quiet allowed me to focus entirely on reclaiming my territory. I bought new furniture, repainted the walls, and rearranged everything. Each change was a victory, a physical manifestation of emotional independence. Then I met Harper, whose grounded presence made me feel like the world wasn't on fire anymore. 1 month later, the final email came from Pamela. "You destroyed my daughter. You did this. I hope you can live with yourself." I didn't respond, because the truth is simple. I didn't destroy Lauren. She destroyed herself. She lit the fire. I just walked away before it burned me. It wasn't closure in the traditional sense. There was only quiet acceptance, a firm line drawn, and the determination to reclaim my life from the mess left behind. And in that quiet, I found something powerful: peace.